Tonight on Lagos Television News. Senate President Godswill Akpabio announces members of some standing committees. House of Representatives asks National Security Advisor to declare Plateau State killings national emergency. Lagos State Government honors 753 staff with long service merit awards. And on the international scene, Ukraine seeks quicker timeline for NATO's membership. Thank you for joining us. I am Adetola. Kayode. You're welcome. President Bola Tinubu has asked that the Nigerian Senate confirm the appointment of the new service chiefs. The request for the confirmation of service chiefs were contained in a letter read by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio at plenary. The service chiefs awaiting confirmation are Christopher Musa, a Major General as Chief of Defense Staff, and Taurid Lagbaja, a Major General as Chief of Army Staff. Adaza Emmanuel Ogala, a Rear Admiral as Chief of Naval Staff, and Hassan Abubakar, an Air Vice Marshal as Chief of Air Staff.
To receive the expeditious consideration and confirmation of the Nigerian Senate, please accept distinguished Senate President and distinguished senators their assurances of my highest consideration. This is signed by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The Senate President, however, referred to the confirmation request of the service chiefs to the entire Senate as it is yet to constitute its committees. The Senate has inaugurated 6 special committees, announcing the composition of the committees during plenary. Senate President Godswill Akpabio also inaugurated a selection committee as well as that of appropriation. While the selection committee comprises principal officers, Akpabio said the appropriation committee, headed by Senator Solomon Adetola, was set up in the event of any emergency supplementary budget that may arise from the executive. According to the Senate President, the Committee on Rules and Business will be headed by Senator Titus Zam, while Okpeyemi Bamidele is Vice Chairman. Senate Services has Senator Sunday Karimi as Chairman, while Williams Jonah is his Vice. Ethics and Privileges has Okezia as Chairman alongside Ibrahim Khalid, while Public Accounts has Ali Wadada as Chairman and Onyeka Nwaibonyi as Vice Chairman. The Senate President also announced Senator Ali Ndume as Vice Chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation. The inauguration is in line with Senate standing rules, which empowers Parliament to, within 14 days after inauguration, set up committees. The House of Representatives has urged the National Universities Commission (NUC) to suspend the implementation of an increase in tuition of universities. This was contained in a motion by Aliyu Sani Madaki, who noted that the universities that hiked their fees included Bayero University, Kano, the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, the University of Uyo, University of Maiduguri, Michael Okpara, University of Agriculture, Umudike, and Federal University, Dutse, among others. Lawmakers in the Green Chamber were concerned that the hike in fees by the universities is happening against the worsening poverty level in the country, inflation, high rate of unemployment, and the recent fuel price hike. They feared that the increase could cause disruptions for a number of students who cannot afford the fees, and that while many of them would be forced to defer their studies, others could drop out entirely. The lawmakers also noted that the hike might aggravate the already volatile situation in the country, as students are already making threats, which could lead to an uprising against the federal government with grievous consequences for the country as a whole. The House also asked the federal government to reverse the recent hike of school fees in Unity secondary schools. And in the meantime, the House of Representatives has asked that the National Security Advisor declare the killings in Plateau State a national emergency. The call was necessitated by a motion of urgent public importance sponsored during plenary by member representing Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency of Plateau State, Dan Chung Bagos. Raising the motion, Bagos noted that the recent terrorist attack on the people of Mangu local government and neighboring communities have left more than 300 persons dead and others seriously injured, properties destroyed, and over 18,000 people displaced and residing at different IDP camps within the local government area. He expressed worries that the continuous attacks by the terrorist groups in the communities, if not addressed immediately, will lead to low farming yield and subsequently worsen the existing food insecurity in the communities.
Police to investigate and ensure culprits are prosecuted. Mandate Operation Safe Haven to identify and evacuate all cells of bandits within the state.
Members urged the security operatives to provide aerial surveillance and support to flush out the terrorists and destroy their camps to avoid reoccurrence and allow innocent farmers to return to their farms and ancestral homes.
Comes into this, there will be a difference. He needs to coordinate all the relevant security agencies to forestall. This prayer is too long.
House unanimously adopted the motion and urged the Secretary to the Government of the Federation to direct the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development through the National Emergency Management Agency and the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons to immediately provide relief materials to the victims of the attack in communities within Mangu local government area. And in other stories, the National Youth Service Corps, NYC, has temporarily relocated its orientation camp in Plateau State from Mangu local government area to the state capital, Jos. It was gathered that the NYC did not give specific reasons for the decision, as the development may not be unconnected with the degenerating security situation in Mangu area of the state. NYC Director of Press and Public Relations Adi Megwa noted that the orientation camp will now hold at Wyatt Foundation, Dio Jos. He, however, directed corps members to report at the new orientation camp on the date specified in their call-up letters. Political leaders from the Southeast region are calling on the federal government to intervene in security matters to ensure that normalcy returns to the region. This came after a meeting of governors and elected members of the National Assembly from the region held in Abuja. The chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum and Governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodimma, said the governments in the region need the assistance of the federal government to address the security challenges in the region. Some of the leaders in attendance were the President General Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Emmanuel Nwanyau, and former Minister of Labor, Chris Ngige. Beyond the sit-at-home order of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra and gunmen attacks, the political leaders expressed determination to end other challenges hindering the development of the region, regardless of their political differences. The All Progressives Congress, APC, has presented its first witness in the petition filed by the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in the March 18, 2023 election, Gbadebo Road survivor. The witness, an APC chieftain, Fuad Oki, tendered a downloaded document issued by the Nigerian Immigration Service formatting the process for the renunciation of a Nigerian citizenship. Maugbe Josu tells us more.
At the resumed hearing, the All Progressives Congress chieftain Fuad Oki, led in testimony by the party's counsel, Babatunde Ogala, tendered a downloaded document issued by the Nigerian Immigration Service formatting the process for the renunciation of a Nigerian citizenship, which can only be approved by the president of the country. The witness also tendered a Punch Online report, a series of tweets, and a YouTube video downloaded in a flash drive of Labour Party supporters allegedly threatening to use dogs to chase out APC supporters from polling units on election day. Meanwhile, counsel for the Labour Party's candidate Idowu Benson objected to the admissibility of the witness electronic documents as exhibit, saying he will state his reasons during the stage of final addresses. The three-member tribunal, headed by Justice Arum Ashom, provisionally admitted the documents in view of the objections. During cross-examination, the witness responded to Benson's question that he has never been a member of the People's Democratic Party or the Labour Party and that the APC does not have a cross-petition before the tribunal. During cross-examination by counsel for Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, Bode Olanipekun, the witness said candidates filled nomination forms online under the Electoral Act 2022 and that the position of oath by the candidate, which forms part of Form EC9, is done before a commissioner for oath. The tribunal discharged the witness afterwards and adjourned the hearing till Thursday, July 13, 2023. Recall that the Labour Party's governorship candidate, Gbadebo Ruth Vivor, who emerged second in the March 2023 polls, is challenging the victory of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, alleging that the APC candidate was not qualified to contest the election on the basis of corrupt practices or non-compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022 and the Constitution. The petitioner is also challenging the eligibility of the Deputy Governor, Obafemi Hamzat, to contest based on the allegation that he allegedly renounced his Nigerian citizenship and swore allegiance to the United States of America. Maugbe Josu, LTV News.
And Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has appointed 7 permanent secretaries in the Lagos State Public Service Health Sector. The head of service, Hakeem Muri-Okunla, explained that the appointees are mainly medical officers selected on merit from the pool of successful candidates in the executive development and screening exercise held in April 2022. The HOS listed the new permanent secretaries as Doctors Abimbola Mabogunje, Consultant Special Grade 1 Health Service Commission, Olabisi Bankole, Consultant Press Special Grade 2 Ministry of Health, Emmanuel Azamba, Chief Medical Officer, General Manager, Lagos State Health Management Agency, amongst others. Noting that the appointments take effect from July 10, 2023. The head of service expressed confidence that the new appointees possess qualities, competencies, and experiences required to serve as permanent secretaries in the Lagos State Public Service. He wished the appointees a successful tenure of office, imploring them not to relent in ensuring the continuous, effective, and efficient discharge of their duties. And the Lagos State government has demonstrated its commitment to the welfare and career growth of members of staff with a presentation of long service merit awards to 753 workers. Speaking at the occasion, the head of service, Hakeem Muri-Okunla, asks for rededication to duty, assuring that government will continue to provide conducive environment for the workforce. Fola Bola Tijani has the details.
These are officers who have served in the Lagos State Public Service for 30 years and above in different ministries, departments, and agencies of government. In appreciation of their dedication and commitment in driving the policies and programs of the state government, the Long Service Merit Awards has been put together as part of the 2023 Public Service Week organized by the Office of the Head of Service.
Let me express our appreciation to Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu the Governor of Lagos State for the unequaled leadership he has always provided for, amongst other things, which makes today a reality. I wish also to seize this opportunity to reiterate the continued commitment and loyalty of Lagos State public servants in implementing the state's public policies and programs, especially as it relates to the Themes Plus agenda of leaving no man behind for the betterment of our dear state.
The head of service, Akim Muriokola, appreciated Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for quality leadership that places premium on workers' welfare while urging public servants to embrace technology as a tool to enhance their job functions.
Let me urge you not to rest on your oars, but rather to continue to exhibit the high sense of responsibility, unparalleled commitment to duty and unalloyed loyalty, which are the qualities and values for which you have been recognized and honored today.
The list of awardees, which cuts across ministries, departments, and agencies, includes women and men from level 3 to 17.
In all ramifications, we are getting it right. So I say kudos to my teachers who are my governor, especially and my HOS, who was very, very patient with us. Give us direction and supportive. When I became PS, I have a dedicated head of service who knows his onions.
To my knowledge, I don't know of any other state that does this for its public servants. But for Lagos State to count us worthy of recognition on a yearly basis, it is a thing of joy, it is a thing that needs to be celebrated, and it's a thing to thank the governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, for.
The awardees have been required to give their best as they leave the venue with recognition plaques, certificates of meritorious service, and gifts from the state government. Fola Bolatijani, LTV News.
In the meantime, the state government has asked professionals in the built sector to collaborate with it to ensure the successful implementation of the Certified Accreditors Program and the Certificate of Structural Integrity Program. At a stakeholders' engagement with professionals in the built environment, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, Oluwole Shotire, says the two programs will help eradicate the menace of building collapse in Lagos. Bukola Taylor Cole reports.
In 2021, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu set up a committee to eradicate building collapse in the state. One of the recommendations of the committee is the need for collaboration between the public and private sector. This led to the introduction of the Certified Accreditor Program (CAP) and the Certificate of Structural Integrity Program (CSIP). At this stakeholders' engagement with professionals in the built sector, speakers say the CAP and CSIP will give room for tested and trusted private professionals to be involved in the regulatory process.
In order to effectively deliver our mandates and eradicate building collapse in our environment, we must jointly work with relevant stakeholders and various professionals in the built environment. This we have done by constantly introducing several initiatives.
For the start of the program, LAPCA will continue to screen and to carry out state certification for buildings for 1 to 3 floors. This will change as time goes on, but they'll be working for the 1 to 3 floors alongside the certified accreditors. This means that certified accreditors are not restricted in the number of floors that they'll be able to participate in.
With this program, we'll be able to gather. It also offers us opportunity to gather data, inspection data in the building industry for the stock of buildings which we have, the new ones that we have presently, the system where we get fitness for purpose.
According to the state government, a certified accreditor must be a consulting firm or a consortium of registered consultants.
We are looking at our planning processes and our building control processes. We are looking at quicker approvals and zero tolerance to building collapse in Lagos State. And so we want them to work together with us so that we can get planning permits out faster in a more transparent process.
It's something that has been overdue. It's not cumbersome. Now, you see, it makes the professionals also to have food on the table. And it also curb, excesses. Now, it's just similar to the removal of the fuel subsidy. It's high time we need to do the right thing. And it's only when you pay for the right thing you get the value for what you pay for.
It's a good idea in that more people will be engaged, more people will be involved in this monitoring of building construction, and hopefully that will certainly reduce the number of collapses we have been having, which is a great embarrassment to we professionals and the society at large.
Certified accreditors will be spread across the state. The pilot program will cover Etiosa, Ikoyi, Victoria Island, Mainland and Ikeja. Bukola Taylor Cole, LTV News.
You're still watching the news on Lagos Television. Still ahead. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo cautions federal lawmakers against deciding their own emoluments. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.
That's right. You too could be one of the 20 Zenith Bank customers that will win 150,000 Naira every 2 weeks from June 1st, 2023 until May 31st, 2024 in the Zenith Better Life Promo 3. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Live the better life with Zenith Bank.
Thank you for staying tuned. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo says federal lawmakers are acting unconstitutionally by deciding their own emoluments at the country's expense. He noted that the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission should be responsible for prescribing the salaries of elected officials, citing the 1999 Nigerian Constitution and the paragraph 32, subsection 8E, part 1 of the third schedule. Obasanjo, however, said many aspects of the Nigerian Constitution, mostly the federal character, had been jettisoned, which he believes portends great danger for the country. The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has warned Nigerians against patronizing drug hawkers. The agency said most of the drugs sold by the hawkers are counterfeit, substandard and expired, warning that the sellers of the medicines are merchants of death. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, said the menace of drug hawking poses a serious challenge to the healthcare delivery system in the country, adding that it underscores the agency's resolute determination to eradicating the illicit trade. According to her, drug hawkers are also the major distributors and suppliers of narcotic medicines to criminal networks such as armed bandits, insurgents, kidnappers and armed robbers. She said drug hawkers constitute a serious threat to national security. The new controller of the Nigerian Immigration Service Lagos Command, Bala Dangana, has promised adherence to the reform policies of the acting controller of immigration to reposition the office and urge officers to shun corrupt practices. Dangana emphasized this during his familiarization with the media. Maugbe Josu reports.
Days after the new comptroller of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Lagos Command, Bala Dangana, assumed office, he is here to chat with the media and officers of the command on his policies to improve service delivery in the state.
Under my watch, there will be strict adherence to the extant rules that has been clearly spelled out in all our operating laws and documents. Officers and men of the command are expected to carry out their respective duties with diligence. The command will maintain zero tolerance for corruption and corrupt practices.
While assuring Lagos residents of a smooth process during their application for international passports, Dangana also warns the public against seeking services from non-officials to avoid being defrauded.
The acting CGI directives on passport administration will be religiously implemented at our passport offices, at Alausa and the front desk office at Alimosho. All applicants who have concluded their online application should afterward proceed to the Servicon unit of the respective applicants choosing passport control office or front desk in Lagos on their appointment dates for the processing of the applicants at no additional cost.
Bala Dangana, who assumed office on July 5, 2023 as the substantive controller of immigration, Lagos State Command, is seeking collaboration with other security agencies to ensure the state is safe enough for residents and investors. Maugbe Josu, LTV News.
And to this one, Ojo indigents have frowned at the ownership claim of the expanse of land on which the Lagos State University Ojo is situated by the Oniba of Iba Kingdom. The monarch had made the claim at the 26th convocation ceremony of the State University, where he was conferred with a doctorate degree. Badagry Bureau Chief Samuel Dada has the report.
We own Lasso. Lasso belongs to the Aburis. We must ensure its development. I appreciate the governor and the entire management staff of Lasso, which domiciles on Iba land.
This assertion from the Oniba of Iba Kingdom at the 26th convocation ceremonies and the 48th anniversary of the Lagos State University Lasso is now a bone of contention between the indigents of Ojo and Iba Kingdoms. Addressing newsmen at the palace of Olojo of Ojo Kingdom, prominent indigents of the town who frowned at the purported claims of the Oniba of Iba Kingdom, Oba Sulaimon Raji Ashade, affirmed that the expense of land accommodating the Lagos State University is yet to be ceded to any other place than their town, Ojo.
For clarity and emphasis, the law recognizes the institution as Lagos University Ojo campus. To drive home further our assertion on the ownership of the land, the immediate past monarch of Iba land, late Royal Majesty Oba Isao Goriola Oseni, of blessed memory, had dragged the management of Lasso and Ojo indigent before a Lagos High Court over the ownership of the land, and was resolved in favor of management of Lasso and indigent of Ojo Kingdom.
That college administration agreement, and they transferred the government college to Era, which is now Model College. So I don't know how somebody can come now and say Iba.
For these prominent Ojo indigents, the clarifications on this erroneous notion of the Iba monarch became imperative in order to nip in the bud avoidable community clashes.
We are also embarking on this fact-stating mission in order to avoid an occurrence similar to the most unfortunate bloody clash that erupted between Ife and Modakeke a few years back in Osun State.
Iba Kingdom has reacted to the position of their sister town, insisting that their monarch's claim on the ownership of the land where the Lagos State University is situated is absolutely impeccable.
Everybody knows it's not an hidden story that the compensation from the federal government on Ojo cantonment was being paid to the late Obagorelo Seni and the Iba people from the Iba Kingdom. So now saying that Lasso belongs to Ojo, maybe because it's being called Lasso Ojo, Lasso Ojo, Lasso Ojo, that's why they are insinuating that the land belongs to Ojo.
Our cabinet is not making mistake. We will have some document that Ojo people cannot face at all.
Iba indigents say the benefits accruable from the state-owned university to the neighboring communities and indeed generality of Lagosians are more important to them than the trivial ownership tussle.
Disputing or arguing about who owns the land, because all of us were benefiting from the university, and people of Iba, because they have been known for peace. The governments have acquired the land for the purpose of everybody. So I don't see the reason why we should be arguing.
It is expected that relevant stakeholders would intervene promptly in this brewing land dispute between the two Awori towns before it snowballs into another crisis. Samuel Dada, LTV News.
Promoting vaccination and screening on cervical cancer for females between 9 to 26 and 30 to 65 years will eradicate human papillomavirus among the gender. Experts reiterated this at the grand finale of the For Girls and Women by Girls and Women, an initiative of the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health. Maugbe Jasu reports.
Creating more awareness in the fight against cervical cancer will reduce the mortality rate that emanates from this preventable disease. At this gathering, medical experts called for the engagement of girls and women to eradicate the disease in the country.
It is a sexually transmitted infection because it's transmitted during the exchange of body fluids and all that. So there is need to protect not only the girl child, and then later in life, be able to transmit it. However, I was saying that because the need is much greater for the girl child who can be protected, so they never get the HPV.
We are leveraging on the community pharmacy to be able to stop and prevent cervical cancer in our locality.
No woman should be dying from cervical cancer today. No woman, wherever they may be, should be dying of cervical cancer. But before the end of today, about 22 Nigerian women all over the country will die from something we can prevent.
Cervical cancer is one cancer that is 98% preventable, and it is a major killer of women. It is the second most common cancer, not only in Nigeria, but all over the world. So a program like this that is aimed at addressing the health inequities that exist in our societies, that addresses the awareness gap that exists in our societies, that addresses the vaccine hesitancy that is the attitude of most Nigerians, will surely go a long way in addressing the challenges, in addressing the gaps.
Speakers say continuous sensitization and early detection will help reduce the virus.
The first part is screening, getting tested. The second part for young girls is vaccination. We have an effective vaccine, has very few side effects, it's safe, it's reliable. This vaccine is really important for young girls aged 9 to 15.
When you look at the literacy rate, over 50% of the population are not educated. And when you look at the out-of-pocket expenditure for healthcare, over 80% of the population are paying for healthcare out of their pockets. The national health insurance cover is still not very much enough, to cover all Nigeria. So definitely, and this is healthcare generally.
They go to their community and start talking to their fellow women about this. They are likely to accept it. And exactly what we are doing today, 7 of them will go to their communities and implement. And in the implementation, each of them are going to identify 50 young girls that are willing to be vaccinated.
Meanwhile, medical experts are seeking support of relevant key players to embrace effective primary and secondary prevention approaches for treating precancerous lesions to prevent most cervical cancer cases. Maugbe Jasu, LTV News.
And still to come in the news. Federal government to harmonize all revenue collecting agencies in the country. That's in business news with Bababumi Agbebi. Please stay.
Looking for an event center that is very conducive, classy, elegant, and affordable? Look no further than Lagos Television Event Centers. With a serene environment, spacious parking lot, guaranteed security with impeccable facilities, you are assured of one-of-a-kind events. For concerts, movie screenings, exhibitions, trade fairs, weddings, funerals, symposium, or any other large gathering, LTV Event Centers guarantees a splendid occasion. Located in the heart of Ikeja, take advantage of the prestigious blue roof with a capacity of more than 1,500 seats, the fully air-conditioned 650 seats combo hall, or the new 400 seats BOS banquet hall, also fully air-conditioned with uninterrupted power supply, all at an affordable rates. For further inquiries, call 0802-328-5410. Lagos Television Event Centers, a tasteful event center for your delight.
Welcome to Business News. The federal government is set to harmonize all revenue collecting agencies in Nigeria. The special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on revenue, Zak Adetola, said the government will double the country's total annual revenue, which is currently below 15 trillion naira, by deepening the nation's revenue collection system and not by adding extra taxes. He explained that Nigeria is faced with challenges in the revenue sector. However, the present administration is prepared to tackle these challenges through fiscal discipline and harmonization of revenue channels, using technology to view all government revenue collecting agencies real time. Adetola clarified that the Tinubu administration is not going to collapse revenue-generating bodies like the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency (NIMASA), and the Nigerian Customs Service. The president's revenue chief also stressed that President Tinubu has already approved the harmonization of all the revenue-collecting agencies. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has commended the efforts of the federal government in formulating policies, national plans, and sectoral interventions towards creating an enabling environment for enhanced national prosperity. President LCCI Michael Olawale Cole said the industry is committed to supporting initiatives of President Bola Tinubu's administration to spur economic growth and development. Olawale Cole lauded the president's appreciation and recognition of the role of the organized private sector in the realization of the socio-economic objectives of Nigeria. The LCCI president, however, expressed concerns over the proposed merger of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency (NIMASA), Federal Inland Revenue Service, and Nigerian Customs Services into the Nigerian Revenue Services. Olawale Cole urged government to ensure that implementing the proposed merger does not impede the ease of doing business. He said it is necessary for government to ensure that the fallout of the proposed merger, such as staff rationalization, realignment of operating structure, accountability and transparency, should be adequately dealt with. A vessel conveying 800,000 liters of suspected stolen crude oil has been intercepted by a private security contractor engaged by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. Chief Corporate Communications Officer Garuba Muhammad said the vessel and its crew members were apprehended by some security operatives at an offshore location heading to Cameroon. He explained that the vessel was owned by a Nigerian company with registration number RC813311. According to him, preliminary investigations revealed that the crude oil cargo on board was illegally sourced from a well jacket offshore in Ondo State, Nigeria. Muhammad assures Nigerians that NNPC Limited will sustain the momentum in the war against crude oil theft until it is brought to a halt. Now, professionals in the aviation industry are calling for the total overhaul of the sector in order to salvage the critical driver of the economy. They made the submission at the Q2 of the Aviation Roundtable Business Meeting in Lagos. Joshua Morakinyo has more.
Thank you so much for coming. That is
the high level of personalities present here, from the players to the regulators, speak volumes of the intent to address an ailing industry.
Setting an agenda.
All the indicators for growth are trending negative for a sector that has all the comparative advantages to be the hub of aviation in Africa.
The many airline failures of the past cannot be exonerated from poor government support. The Nigerian political authorities seem to be paying a lot of attention to renovating airport infrastructure that is beyond economic repair. The roadmap has been riddled with litigations, union agitations, apathy from investors, and above all, wrong direction from various ministers of aviation.
Having chronicled the challenges inimical to the growth of the sector, experts set agenda for the new administration.
And so I would like to believe that we talk about overhauling the aviation industry completely. That is what is required.
How do you protect your indigenous airlines? President Bola Tinubu should be allowed to come up with his own idea of what to do. And I know he's a supporter of indigenous businesses. Nigerians can fly their own flag carriers.
As far as the African continent is concerned, Nigeria has some very important comparative advantages. I dare to say that our primary focus must be Africa. We must dominate Africa first. Our footprint, our presence, our influence must start with Africa.
Airlines home remittance remain a huge challenge, and we only get worse with the floating dollar exchange rate, if not quickly cleared. Airfares will continually soar, reaching all-time high levels.
The consensus for critical players here is to have a sector that works for all, drive economic growth, as well as a call to the administration to ensure ease of doing business. Joshua Murakinyo, LTV News, Lagos.
Up next, the stock market report and foreign exchange market figures. That's it on Business News. I am Babumi Agbibi. Back to Adetola for the rest of the news.
And now to some sports stories. A total of 8 teams will participate in the maiden edition of the forthcoming Above 50 Football Championship, slated to hold from July 28 to 30, 2023 at the Legacy Pitch of the National Stadium, Surulere, Lagos. Arrival date for the teams is July 27, with a welcome dinner on that day before the commencement of the competition the next day. Sports correspondent Ijoma Chigbu reports.
Disclosing this to the media during a press conference to herald the tournament, initiator of the competition, Edward Olutoku, explained that the tournament, which is put together to encourage those from 50 years and above to play football, exercise their body, burn out calories and network, said that all FIFA rules will be observed, while any player who cannot show evidence of his age will be disqualified.
This landmark sporting event promises to bring together seasoned footballers above the age of 50, showcasing their skills, camaraderie, and love for the beautiful game, the game we all love so much. The Above 50 football tournament will witness the participations of different teams from across the nation, each representing their communities. The event will be a celebration of not only football, but also the vitality, the passion, and the resilience that thrive within individuals beyond the age of 50.
International coordinator of the championship, Ademola Oyefeso, said that he's already working with people with like minds in New York and New Jersey in the United States of America to make the game have international outlook and also make people realize that life starts at 50 and can be rejigged and rejuvenated at that age.
I've been doing all this promotion all over. New York, New Jersey are ready. We don't have a date for them yet. We still need to pick up the date. My voice can't go better than this.
Chairman of the local organizing committee of the championship, Frafila Adetola, while commending the initiator for the noble idea, noted that not more than 5 ex-internationals will be allowed in a team, while plans have been concluded to unveil Ambassador Olutoke as a patron of the Nigerian Football Supporters Club on the final day of the championship, which coincides with his birthday.
What we are trying to do is to make people look good, keep fit, improve their health. And secondly, this above 50 thing we're talking about will grow so wide that one of these days there will be the World Cup competition for the above 50.
Above 50 football is something, is an opportunity that you can rarely see anywhere. It's not just coming out here to play. We are playing, we are above 50, and we are playing to keep fit. We are playing to learn networking. This is all about learning from other people.
Each of the community clubs that will take part in the competition will have a medical practitioner and finance director attached to the team who will advise them on how to eat healthy diet and what it takes to make money, amongst others. Winners of the tournament will get 5 million naira, while the first and second runners-up will be 2 million and 1 million naira richer. Ijomachibu, LTV News.
The grand finale of the Lagos Athletics Club Series will see teams qualify for the release of the 2023 World Championship in Budapest, Hungary. After failing to meet the required standards of the World Athletics at the just concluded Regional Championship in Lomé, Togo, the Nigeria relay team will get another opportunity to secure qualification ticket in Lagos. We have details in our sports package.
As the finale of the Lagos Athletics Club Series takes center stage on Friday, July 14, the relay teams from Nigeria, Ghana, Togo and Benin Republic will be slugging it out for their tickets to Budapest 2023 World Athletics Championship, which holds next month. The relay qualifiers will be the highlights of the final leg in the Lagos Athletics Club Series launched earlier this year by the Lagos State Athletics Association. The Athletics Club Series is aimed to revive the sport and promote healthy competitions among the athletes across the country. 27 clubs and 3 schools will be aiming to share from the grand prize on Friday, July 14, when the grand finale of the maiden series holds at the sports complex of the Yaba College of Technology. According to the technical director, Lagos State Athletics Association, Eneffiong Udo Ubong, the one-day meet promises to be exciting as the relay events 4x100 and 4x400 meters will light up the finals as 4 national teams jostle for tickets with the required qualifying time.
Give clubs the time to reflect, to strategize, to change their way, and also for athletes to have a very good system in which they can identify with a particular club. And at the end of the season, if possible, we now have a kind of transfer system within clubs. This way will make the clubs more vibrant, to make athletics more interesting.
For the chairman of the association, Solomon Alao, the staging of the tournament will help the state to restore the glorious era of athletics in the country. The LSAA boss explained that the association is always on the lookout for innovative ideas to catalyze development and support growth, while revealing plans to enroll the discovered athletes in a mentoring program to be anchored by former Olympics medalist Udo Obong, who is also the technical director of LSAA.
Encouraging other states to rise up to the occasion and support the work that the president has done, talking about Chief Okowa. But nonetheless, World Athletics recognizes that the club structure is very important, a very important one. So that's why you have your collegiates and your what have you, and all of them run for clubs, so that's what this is about.
New records and excellent performances from the athletes is guaranteed at the Athletics Club Series, going by the level of competitions in the previous leg of the championship.
And outside Nigeria, we hear NATO leaders say Ukraine's future is in the alliance during the first day of the Vilnius summit, but stopped short of announcing a timeline or formal invitation into the military bloc. President Volodymyr Zelensky has landed in Lithuania to attend the NATO summit after he criticizes the alliance for not setting a timeline on Kyiv's path to membership. Before the start of the summit in Vilnius, Russia conducted overnight air raids on Kyiv with Iranian-made Shahed drones, and Ukraine has promised to shoot them down. Sergei Lavrov, Russia's foreign minister, has however warned of an appropriate response in the event of NATO expansion. And it's now time for us to check out what tomorrow's weather will look like. Just before we go, let's take another look at our top stories. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio has announced members of some standing committees, including appropriation and selection committees. The House of Representatives has asked the National Security Advisor to declare the Plateau State killings a national emergency. The Lagos State government has honored 753 members of staff with long service merit awards. And outside Nigeria, we told you that Ukraine is on the quest for quicker timeline for its NATO membership. And for more news, please connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. And that's the way it is on the news at 8. In case of emergencies, please call 767 or 112. They are toll-free lines. Thank you for watching. I am Adetola Kayode, and on behalf of the crew, we wish that you have a wonderful night rest. God bless Nigeria.